Okay, this is finally time for this A to Z mini rework my thoughts, ideas, changes, so on and so forth. We are at Kennen, the Heart of the Tempest. His damage is magic, his style is mostly abilities, his difficulty is 2, and he's all attack and crowd control, which is very true. Wait, he doesn't have 2 mobility? What? I would at least give him a second mobility now. Like, come on. He deserves 2. He definitely deserves 2. More than just the lightning quick enforcer of Ionian balance, Kennen is the only Yordle member of the Kinko. Despite his small furry stature, he is eager to take on any threat with a whirling storm of shuriken and boundless enthusiasm alongside his master Shen. Kennen patrols the spirit realm, employing devastating electrical energy to strike down his enemies. Okay, abilities. Mark of the Storm. Okay, Kennen's ability add 1 stack of Mark of the Storm to their target for 6 seconds. If the target reaches 3 stacks, it is stunned for 1.25 really? And Kennen gains 25 energy. The stun will be diminished duration of 0.5 seconds if it occurs again within 6 seconds. Oh, so if he procs another stun really quickly, it'll only be... Wow, it won't even be a full second. Damn. Thundering Shuriken. Kennen throws a fast-moving shuriken towards a location, causing damage and adding a Mark of the Storm to any opponent that it hits. His passive already says that. So it's just a basic thing. Basic skill shot. Electrical Surge. Kennen passively deals extra damage and adds a Mark of the Storm to his targets every few attacks. And he can activate this ability to damage and add another Mark of the Storm to targets who are already marked. Lightning Rush. This is why he should gain a second thing of mobility. Kennen morphs into a lightning form, enabling him to pass through units and apply a Mark of the Storm. Kennen gains defense and movement speed when entering this form, and attack speed when leaving it. So... yeah, like he quite literally just like gains movement speed when doing it. I didn't realize that he gains some defense or attack speed when it ends, but eh. Slicing Maelstrom. Kennen summons a storm that strikes at nearby enemy champions for magical damage. And it applies stacks of his passive, and this is the easiest way for him to stun you. Okay, now I'm not gonna lie, for Kennen, I don't know what to think about him. I've never had a problem with Kennen, but I've never really thought that he's been a strong pick either. Like, besides his ult, he really doesn't have anything going for him. Not gonna lie. He just really doesn't seem like there's anything that's special about him at all. If anything, I would kind of like enforce more of the whole idea of him being like a ninja that also controls the Tempest. I like his passive. I honestly, in some cases, wish it was like longer, but they were trying. But like it degrades over time, and like how he keeps proccing it over. Like the stacks will stay longer, but the first time he hits you with it, it'll be a stun for like a second and a half. The second time he hits you with it, it'll be like a root for half a second. And the third time he hits you with it, it will be a slow for half a second. Or like the root will be for 1 second. So like he would have a lot more CC in that case. But still, that would definitely be something that he could like do a lot more of. And he could be a bit more useful in fights. See, I think that his Q should sort of stack, like how like the cooldown can go, but I don't want him to have to like use it on multiple people. Is the only thing that I don't like about it. When I think of Kennen, I do think of someone who can duel reasonably well, but his priority function is to fight like a large group of people at the same time. Or at least reasonably well, like with his ult. So because of that, I don't really fully know what I would do with that one. Eh. So I would probably just keep the Q as it is. Honestly, I like most of his kit for the most part. He just, as I said, he just really doesn't seem like he's that special. I guess that's not necessarily a bad thing, but in my opinion, it's not a good thing either. But like I like his W. I like how it doesn't make every auto attack send like give you a stack, and how he can give you another by zapping you. I like his E for the most part. I do like the fact that it does like increase your speed and everything. There's a lot of times where I'll see someone like throw their Q, then they'll E, then after they've like walked through you, they'll auto attack and W. You'll be stunned, um, and then after that they'll like use their ult or something like that to stun you again. Plus just do damage. So if anything, I would really just work on giving him slightly more crowd control with his passive. But besides that, I don't think that he needs anything special because like he does do a good amount of damage. If anything, like maybe you could buff his damages a little bit. Like make his have his W have a passive that all of his abilities have a slight amount of AP damage to him, kind of like a Gnasher's Tooth passive. Or maybe do something like with like that on his Q or his E, and that way, like as you level it, it increases the percentage that you have just a little bit more each time, something like that. I wouldn't do anything insane though, just because like I wouldn't want him to go from the opposite side of the spectrum, from being like okay to maybe not that great to overpowered. But yeah, I really don't have anything big for him. As I said, I would just increase the CC through his passive by making like every time you proc it, it degrades a little bit, but it's like a new form of CC. You can proc it like more times than you could before. His Q and like W and everything. I honestly think that his kit is pretty reasonably like made for what it is currently. And yeah, if anything, I just kind of like add a passive to make him do a little bit more damage somewhere, and that's about it. Then we have his skins. So we have this Ken skin, which is like his base Ken skin is great and everything. I like the eyes, but in general, it's like it's okay. Deadly Kennen. See, I don't like the fact that they like took away the whole eye idea. Like I love the eyes on his skin, and they like made it regular old eyes. Um, so like honestly, if I'm gonna put this in any like category, I'd probably give this like a 6 out of 10. I'd give this like a 4 out of 10. It really ain't great or anything. This is the exact same thing, just with different color palette. So, yet again, like a solid like 4 out of 10. But since I like red more, 3 out of 10. Karate Cannon, I think is okay, but yet again, like it just doesn't seem like there's anything special about it. I give it like a 5 out of 10. I guess like slightly higher than these guys. Kennen MD is same thing. I don't see anything that special about it. I kind of like the how it is one of the doctor skins, but like most of the other doctor skins are just better. There's another like 5 out of 10. Optics is okay. But he just yet again like most of Kennen's skins are like the exact same thing with like very small differences. Well, not like very like really not as much as I would like. I would really like to maybe like make his eyes yet again like go with eye theme into like a snowflake or something, or make him white. With like have focus more on the lightning aspect in his things. It just doesn't. Yet again, like another 5. Blood Moon is very nice. The shurikens are great. The whole like red lightning. They continued the eye thing finally. Um, he just looks like a little menacing creature, and like that, I think it's great. Honestly, I'd give this one a solid 8.5 or 9 out of 10. Super Cannon, I do think it is a very amusing and a nice looking skin. It's definitely, I do like it. I would put this like slightly lower than the Blood Moon. So I put it like a 7.5 or 8 compared to
Blood Moon Kennen, because Blood Moon Kennen is just so good. Most, like, all the Blood Moon skins are usually pretty good, but this one is a very nice skin. I just realized that Kennen is considered a mage. I guess I would throw him there too, but honestly, like, he really is a close marksman, like, between a marksman and a mage.
Hmm. Then, like, he always seems a bit more tanky than most mages. Yeah, but still. But Blood Moon, I would definitely do that. Oh, nope, nope. I don't know why I exited out of the entire thing. But then, yeah, as I was saying, I'd just increase his passive. Maybe give him on one of his abilities another passive that causes ability damage to go on each of his auto attacks. And that's really all I would do to him. I wouldn't do anything major because I do think that he honestly has a pretty reasonable kit. But I wouldn't, like, I would never nerf him because, like, he definitely doesn't deserve a nerf. But at the same time, I would say, like, maybe, like, just very small, slight buffs. Because I've never really, like, I've never had a point with Kennen where I've just been like, he's a broken champion. Like, I do think his ult is annoying, but, like, the stun isn't that long. And it's really just, like, it's really only good in a team fight. Most of the time when he uses his ult in lane, it's either he's really like he's been poking the heck out of you with his Q and his other abilities, or his jungler's about to come in and gank, and he wants to be like, oh, no, you ain't getting no way, bitch. So because of that, like, yeah, I would just do minor changes to his passive and give him another passive in one of his abilities, and that's about it. Even if it was his ult, I would still give it to him. But then, yeah, that have been my thoughts, ideas, changes, so on and so forth, and blah, 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 for Kennen. If you agree or disagree with anything that I've said, please leave it down in the comments down below. If you have any of your own ideas for either Kennen or any of the previous champions, or even any of the champions I haven't done yet, please, like, yet again, leave it in the comments down below. I will gladly get back to it as soon as I can. And yeah, so I'm going to thank you all very much for watching this AtoZ mini rework, my thoughts, ideas, changes, so on and so forth. And I will bid you all adieu. Goodbye.